Hello everyone, my name is Evil Joker Gaming and welcome to week 8 of College Football Mania. Let's hurry up and get into this week. My current record is 42-28. Last week I went 7-3. Let's see if I can maybe go for 10-0 this week. To start things off, we have number 10 Wisconsin and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Wisconsin led second-ranked Ohio State much of the game, but fell in a 30-23 in overtime. Iowa has righted the ship after consecutive losses with road wins at Minnesota and Purdue. I'm going to go ahead and say Wisconsin by double digits. Next we have Central Michigan and Toledo. Toledo was a huge favorite over scuffling rival Bowling Green, but was pressed to the wire in a 42-35 victory. While Central Michigan needed an overtime to log a road win at Northern Illinois, I'm going to go ahead and pick Toledo. Next up, we have the number 12 West Virginia Mountaineers and the TCU Horned Frogs. West Virginia destroyed Texas Tech in Lubbock in what Red Raiders coach Cliff Kingsbury said was the worst game he'd ever seen his team play. The Mountaineers are one of the 11 remaining FBS unbeaten teams, while TCU enjoyed an open date following a close call at Kansas. And if you have a close call against Kansas, you're not going to do so well against West Virginia. I'm going to go with the Mountaineers. Next up, we have number 19 Utah and UCLA. UCLA was without a banged up Josh Rosen and slumped to a 1-3 in Pac-12 play with a road loss at Washington State. Utah held off Oregon State in the worst weather of the weekend. I'm going to go ahead and go with Utah. Next, we have number 17 Arkansas and number 21 Auburn. Arkansas outlasted Ole Miss 34-30 to earn its first SEC win of the season and a third straight victory over the Rebels. Auburn was idle a week after hammering Mississippi State on the road and has now won 3 straight games. The Razorbacks took last year's meeting in 4 overtimes. Now this might not go into 4 overtimes, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Arkansas by, let's go ahead and say 14. Next we have number 2 Ohio State and Penn State. Ohio State trailed much of the game at Wisconsin, but downed the Badgers 30-23 in overtime to remain unbeaten, while Penn State was idle last week and has beaten Minnesota and Maryland since a lopsided loss at Michigan. I'm going to go with Ohio State big. Next we have number 23 Ole Miss and number 25 LSU. LSU was sluggish in the first half, but exploded with 5 second-half touchdowns to rout Southern Miss 45-10, while Ole Miss suffered its 3rd loss of the season and back-and-forth 34-30 decision at Arkansas. The Tigers have won 10 of the past 14 meetings and 3 straight in Baton Rouge, all by a single score. It's going to be a close one. I'm going to go ahead and say LSU by 10. Finally, we have Washington State and Arizona State. Washington State built a 20-point lead against UCLA and hung on for a 27-21 home win in a windy, raining conditions. The Cougars are tied atop the North Division with rival Washington, but only other team undefeated in the Pac-12 play. Arizona State was in control of the South, but dropped a 40-16 decision at division co-leader Colorado. I'm going to pick Washington State by 17. I also picked Stanford over Colorado. It's now time for this week's Game of the Week. This week, the Game Day crew will be live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where number 1 Alabama takes on number 6 A&M. Alabama dominated Tennessee behind 438 rushing yards, setting up this game between the SEC's only 2 unbeatens. Texas A&M was idle after its own win over Tennessee. Like Alabama, A&M built a big lead on the Volunteers, but the Tide closed the doors with a second-half domination, while the Aggies allowed Tennessee to come back from 21 down to force overtime. My headgear pick goes to Alabama. Also, all the game previews are from ESPN.com. It's now time for this week's Matchup Madness. My current record is 7-0, so maybe I could go 8-0 and stay undefeated. This week, the two teams are Wyoming and Troy. This week, I will be playing as Wyoming, and also the matchup game will be a little bit different this week. Normally, I will upload the matchup game later today, but it will be uploaded tomorrow. I'm going to aim about 3 p.m. Central Time, so be on the lookout for that. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and be sure to click subscribe for more awesome content. Good luck to all the teams this week, and thanks for watching.